Hello, this is Dr. Jonathan Bentovich. I'm the father of the computational unified field theory. Recently, it's been called God's physics. There's been a few books that came out, over 100 peer-reviewed scientific articles published, including 3 special issues. The current special issue is just coming out in one of the physics journals with 13 breakthrough scientific articles. And essentially, this is a very important video that I'm recording right now because it's calling for an immediate time-sensitive validation of one of God's physics' unique critical predictions. I think it's safe to say that we stand at a historic point that is equivalent to Eddington's verification of Einstein's critical prediction over 100 years ago. I'm referring to the 1919 solar eclipse, in which Einstein's prediction regarding the double-valued perihelion pathway of Mercury around the Sun due to the curvature of space-time by the mass of the Sun. And Eddington, in the 1919 solar eclipse, verified Einstein's critical prediction and actually indicated that Einstein's prediction of 1.6 arc, as opposed to the 0.8 arc predicted by Newton's classical mechanics, triumphed. And at that point, Einstein's general theory of relativity was accepted as a new scientific paradigm for 20th century physics, which still holds true. The problem is that we stand at an equivalent point because right now, just as in the case of Einstein's revolution, and that concurs with Thomas Kuhn's famous analysis of the structure of scientific revolutions, which was accepted, and where he points out that science, or any given scientific discipline, undergoes alternating phases of standard science, such as classical mechanics, in which a certain standard paradigm is accepted, and the scientists are working based on the assumptions and the methodology and the theoretical postulates of a given standard paradigm. But then, after about 100 years or so, there is a problem arising where there is theoretical inconsistency within the foundations of that old paradigm, and there's also a major phenomenon that cannot be explained by the old paradigm. So in the case of Einstein, we had the ether concept, which was purely hypothetical, could not be verified, even though Michelson, Morley, and others tried numerous experiments, and it could not be detected. And that was a major problem because classical mechanics needed the ether concept as a basic assumption. And so when we have this situation where we have theoretical inconsistencies within the foundations of a given standard paradigm, old paradigm, and we have a situation that the old paradigm cannot explain a major phenomenon. In the case of classical mechanics, that was the ether concept. And we stand at an equivalent point. There's been 100 articles published. I'm opening International Physics and Astronomy, etc. conferences as the keynote opening talk, describing this major evolution in science that's taking place now with God's physics, in brackets computational unified field theory, new scientific paradigm. But the thing is, in the same manner that Einstein was able to, that Eddington was able to validate a critical prediction of Einstein's theory, which was different than the corresponding prediction of Newtonian mechanics, and when you put this together with the capacity of Einstein's general relativity theory to resolve those apparent inconsistencies between Maxwellian electromagnetic theory and Newtonian classical mechanics, and advance our knowledge of the world and science in a significant manner, the turning point occurs when we have this critical prediction with different predictions by the new paradigm as opposed to the old paradigm. And when this critical prediction is being tested and verified, and in fact it's shown, as in the case of Eddington, showing that Einstein's double value Mercury perihelion pathway around the Sun is more accurate, the 1.6, was the actual result and not the 0.8 of Newtonian mechanics. At that point, science has to embrace and accept the new scientific paradigm. So in the case of Einstein, that was the acceptance of general relativity theory. And we stand at a historic point, which I'm calling today urgently, immediately for astronomers, cosmologists to collaborate with me. My personal email is drbentwich@gmail.com, drbentwich@gmail.com, no dots or commas, etc. And that appears also in the 100+ articles that have been published to Dr. Jonathan Bentwich, in brackets Bentwich. And so I'm calling cosmologists, astronomers to collaborate with me directly now through my personal email to set up the extremely important experiment that could validate in an unequivocal manner God's physics as more valid than the old paradigm underlying both relativity theory and quantum mechanics. So what I want to do is essentially highlight what exactly is this prediction and how it would advance science, and also the fact that God's physics new paradigm has accomplished tremendous things. It's been able to unify between relativity theory and quantum mechanics. It's discovered a singular higher order universal computational / consciousness principle, UCP, that computes and creates and dissolves and develops the whole universe as a series, extremely rapid series of frames. So at every billionth of a billionth, etc., of a second, c squared divided by Planck's constant, which gives us approximately 1.36 in the power of minus 50 per second. So at each trillionth of a trillionth, etc., of a second, the UCP creates the whole universe as a three-dimensional picture or object frame, and then it dissolves back to the UCP. And the next time that the UCP creates the universe, it's a little bit larger. But the major change occurs actually during what I call the collective human consciousness focus. And those are times in which millions of individuals, in this case Jewish Rosh Hashanah, millions of Jews, are all focusing on this UCP. In religious terms, we would call it God. In scientific terms, we would call it the universal consciousness / computational principle. So when the claim is, the prediction is that when we have millions of individuals, or in this case Jews, focusing on this UCP, we immediately see an increase in the rate of the universe's expansion, and that increase carries over to the whole next Jewish year. So first of all, practically, again, my email is drbentwich@gmail.com, drbentwich@gmail.com, and I'm calling again astronomers, cosmologists to collaborate with me. Time is running short because we have to validate what was the rate of the universe's expansion before September 16th and 17th, 2023, and what happens from 16th and 17th onwards. So that's my call to astronomers, cosmologists, a little bit to understand what's going on with this critical prediction. Because the God's physics new scientific paradigm is based on empirical validation of two of its previous critical predictions. One of them is actually related to what's predicted to occur on Jewish Rosh Hashanah. There is a known problem which is unresolved for the old general relativity theory. And that old problem, a major phenomena, is the expansion of the universe. When we look at the expansion of the universe, we see that it's the rate of the universe's expansion is increasing. So in other words, when we look at the background radiation and we see what was the rate of the universe's expansion back then, close to the assumed birth of the universe, and what's the rate of the expansion of the universe right now, we see that there is an increase. Right now, there is a higher rate of expansion of the universe than when the universe just was created. And that's a problem because the old model, general relativity theory, assumes that there exists a purely hypothetical concept. I believe it's much the same as the ether, which was eventually negated and ignored and cancelled. So I believe we stand at an equivalent point. In other words, we see now that there is an increase in the universe's expansion rate from the beginning, the background radiation, to now. Astronomical cosmological gap in the universe's expansion increase in expansion rate. So there is a gap there that cannot be explained by the manner in which the old material causal paradigm of relativity theory tries to explain the expansion of the universe is through dark matter, dark energy. These are completely hypothetical concepts which could not be verified or validated even after 2 full decades of experimentation. And believe we stand at the historic point. The God's physics paradigm is canceling dark matter, dark energy and offering us a really good and much broader alternative. And that is the discovery of a singular higher order universal consciousness slash computational principle that creates everything in the universe as a extremely rapid series of universal frame occupying the whole universe. Then it collapses or dissolves back to the UCP, and then it creates another frame a little bit larger. But the rate at which the universe is increasing its expansion is related very much to what's happening on what I call the collective human consciousness focus hypothesis. So since we have this UCP creating the universe as a sort of a film, it's somewhat like a semantic film metaphor. It's creating a frame simultaneously, then dissolving it back to itself. Then it has to create another frame which is a little bit larger. The claim is that if and when astronomers, cosmologists will collaborate with me and will test what's the rate of the universe expansion before the 16th and 17th of 2023, as opposed to from 16th and 17th onwards. So I'm calling astronomers, cosmologists to test the increase in the rate of universe expansion. This cannot be explained by dark matter, dark energy, and this would be an unequivocal support and validation of God's physics new scientific paradigm. Again, my own personal email is drbentwich@gmail.com, drbentwach@gmail.com. And I thank you for watching this video, and I'm urgently calling and encouraging astronomers and cosmologists to step up to the occasion and allow me to test this very unique critical prediction that would turn God's physics into a major new paradigm for the 21st century. Thank you very much.